O'Reilly. Now this doesn't have anything to do with torture, and I'm just amused by it. We go back to the Hugo Chavez shouldn't have shaken his hand. It's outrageous. Now we want to show you this clip for a couple of reasons. One, because Alan Combs, in the beginning, does a good job of making fun of this a little bit. Towards the end, he gives a concession that he should not have given to O'Reilly. But it's fun, and then there's an interesting point in there as well. So let's watch this interaction between O'Reilly and Combs.
Okay, so the best thing that the president did in the past weekend?
Well, he certainly had a wonderful moment with Hugo Chavez.
That was wonderful.
I know that you people often think, when I say you people, I mean you, probably think that dictator DNA got off on him and he's going to come back and infect the United States because, look,
you like this thing?
Do I like it?
No, Miller didn't like this whole thing.
Oh, what a shock. What a shock.
But what did you find worthy about it?
This shows, first of all, what do you ignore the guy? When George W. Bush was at the UN and asked, will you talk to Ahmadinejad if you're in the same room? No, I won't talk to him. Like a 5-year-old. What do you ignore somebody standing right next to you? Because he touched him, put his hand on his shoulder, shook his hand? Do these people have a problem with Mao and Nixon? And of course, you worked for Richard Nixon. I mean, Nixon goes to China. Did you have a problem with
Cho and Nixon? Mao was.
Did you have a problem with looking into Putin's eyes and seeing his soul? Did you have a problem with?
All right, but all of those are valid points as long as you realize that it was Cho and Lai, not.
Cho and Lai.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to confuse you with the high school thing. But
talk slowly, and I think I'll be okay.
All right. So no, it's Cho and Lai. Nixon never met China. Is that right, Jesus? I feel like perhaps Nixon did meet Mao, but I'm not sure. Let's see if we have any evidence of that. Oh, yeah, that would appear to be Mao. Oopsie doopsie. And look at that. He's shaking his hand and smiling. The bastard. This is worse than Watergate. How dare he? All right, now, look, you can get a fact wrong in the middle of a show. But what's funny about O'Reilly is how insistent he is. He's like, oh, no, I never met Mao. It was Joe. Admit it, Alan. Admit it. And then Alan admits. And I don't blame Alan either, because if you put me on the spot on it, I was like, wait, I thought he met Mao, but am I 100% sure? So I'm not overly worried about O'Reilly's bombast and getting it wrong. I'm more interested in the substance of this, which is, look, of course Nixon met Mao and shook his hand and smiled. That's how you do diplomacy. In fact, Nixon was given all the credit in the world by the left wing and the right wing and the middle wing and everybody in the country for going and meeting Mao, because that's diplomacy. Now, we do have one other picture of American statesmen shaking hands with a questionable dictator. No, it's not Chavez, who, by the way, was an elected leader of Venezuela and not an actual communist dictator like Mao was, who Nixon met with. But this picture is a curious one. Let's check this one out. Oh, right. That's when Don Rumsfeld met and shook Saddam Hussein's hand and appeared to be smiling, and then sold him weapons, which he later invaded his country to retrieve, and then found out that he no longer even had them. See, I would think that this picture would be a little bit more damaging than Hugo Chavez giving a boys in the hood handshake, as Larry Kudlow of CNBC said, to Barack Obama. I love how goofy the right wing is.